Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we talked about the market bottoming today. Did it bottom? I'm going to try to show you why I feel it will, despite the unknowns that can happen during the weekend. And why, just why, is statistical analysis better than technical analysis? And why does it hold your key to the future of success when it comes to day trading? I am Mark Melnick. Pull up a chair, pull up a drink. Let's discuss the market. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. First of all, I would like to say congratulations if you've survived this week. This is obviously, by the looks of it, either urine or ginger ale, and I have no need to drink urine. So let's go ahead and discuss what's happening in the markets here. And I'm going to really show you why statistical analysis is far superior to technical analysis. And I'm going to also show you something very important here, why the market bottomed. So we're going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take again, I showed you a screenshot recently. I did show you a screenshot recently of the NIMO, the McClellan oscillator on the weekly. And what I did was I showed you points in time in which it literally called like the market bottoms. Like you have, post 9/11 crash over here. Again, the movie The Big Short was down over here. The housing market collapse, the dead bottom of the market here, flash crash. And then, of course, this was flash crash. And then, forgot what this one was. Was that the flash crash? And this, of course, was the plummet on the US-China trade war. Right now, right now, the NIMO is literally at its lowest time ever. Isn't that interesting when you see how they try to advertise to other people? Let's see, I got a Lakers ticket exchange. I live in Jersey. I'm not flying out to see Kobe as much as I love him. So right now, you could look at the NIMO, and it's at negative 136.48. You see that right here where it says last, negative 136.48. That represents the lowest move ever within it. Now, what does that mean? Well, yesterday I did a video, and it basically said, get ready for the quickest rally of the year. And this video was, right over here. I talked about, Newsbeat Show 563, get ready for the quickest rally this year. I didn't say like largest. Percentage-wise, it's going to be massive, but get ready for the quickest rally this year. Now, it's kind of funny when people are talking in the market because we went from a situation where every single person, their mothers, their grandmothers, their great aunts, everybody was bullish in the market, and all of a sudden that just magically changed. That just magically changed, and I do want to show you that the market actually already bottomed. Me predicting the market bottoming already happened. I think it's going to continue further, but the market bottomed already happened. And people will look at you and say, what do you mean? Well, I'm going to show you the chart. Let me ask you a question. If you think Apple moved 5% off its lows, how many people here would consider that a bottom in Apple? Type in 11 if you would consider a 5% move. Imagine a $300 stock moving to $315. Imagine um, a $2,000 Amazon bottoming and going to 2,100. How many people would call that a bottom? Okay. Now I'm going to take it a step further for you. If Apple bounced 10% off of a low, how many people would consider that a bottom? So if you were at $300, you went to $330 on Apple. If you were a $100 stock, you'd bounce to 110. How many people would consider a 10% pop off the lows a bottom? I would. Well, that's the funny part here because nobody on your local news networks is talking about the fact that Apple hit a low today of 256.37 and is trading after hours at 275. That is a 9% bounce in Apple. You're telling me that's not a bottom? But Mark, a bottom is only when we gap up and shoot up the next day. Oh, you're defining a bottom outside of prices now? Because the market kept dropping this week? Interesting. Very interesting how you define that. Again, a lot of the Newsbeat Live members here are loaded up to the gills. I'll tell you right now, nobody knows what's gonna. I don't really care that the market is gapped up after hours. I just want to mention that the market was down big yesterday the when I was calling for the market bottoming, by the way. I just want to point out that the market was down in lovely large fashion. Now, what I want to show you, I'm going to show you a stock which I'm attracted to. Um, I met This isn't one of those stocks you meet on Tinder. This is like one of those Match.com stocks. I'm going to show you that one. But first, I want to actually show you why statistical analysis is greater than technical analysis. Everybody will come out and they'll show you the way they make money. Gurus, talking heads. They'll come out and they will tell you, you know, this is my strategy. This is how I made this much money. I do this, I sell you. Oh God, I get like almost like neck cramps thinking of the nonsense that spews from people's faces. However, if you just stop and think about it, they like to show you all these technical formations. But I want to prove to you that statistical analysis is more than somebody spewing random technical formations for you. So I actually want to ask you guys things that you find important for technical analysis. We're going to start off with making money consistently. And my definition of consistently is 70%, not just 70%, 70% or more of the time. That's a minimum, not a maximum. How many people consider this an important factor? Let me hear an 11 right now. If you consider that an important factor in technical analysis, maybe you don't care. Type in something else. Maybe you just want to make money. You don't care if it's consistent or not. You just want to see the dollars grow. That's fine. I'm asking you a question. There is no right or wrong answer here. Do you want to make money on your trades, on your ideas 70% or more of the time? Okay. Now, I'm asking you, how many people want to make money overall? Because, yeah, you could be the person shorting options and making money 95, 96% of the time, and then the one time you're wrong, your account goes down 30, 40%. How about making money? Can I get a 22 if making money is important for you on your strategy? I think everybody agrees with that. And believe me, I am getting to a very valid point here. Kindly allow me to continue. How many people want their trade to be as low stress as possible? One of the most common things to have a low stress trade is being up money as close to immediately as possible. How can I get a 33 if that's important for you? If it's not, give me a 99. Is low stress as possible? Is that important for you in a strategy? It's funny. Wall Street doesn't talk about that to you. The only important thing is that I vomited up an old P&L and strategy that I did and try to pitch you into something, right? But nobody talks about this. They only show you enter here, you exit here, you take profit here, and they don't talk about the entire journey. It's almost like, okay, I need you to go through the jungle, get me a coconut, and bring it back home. And they're like, here you start at the home. There's the coconut. Here's you coming back home. But they don't talk about the fact that an alligator chewed off your leg, you were jumped by a cheetah, you caught malaria, and the coconut fell on your head and cracked your skull. They don't mention that part. They just show here's point A and here's point Z. There's nothing in between. They don't talk about the journey that you have to go through sitting there in the trade watching it with your P&L fluctuating. They don't talk about that. And they wonder why 97, 98% of people are failing off the nonsense strategies that are being taught to them, even if they do make money in the end. Even if you take 100 sample size and you're like, yeah, it worked, but, you know, let's see what I lost. My hair, my wife, my this, my that, my friends, what? What did you give up for that? Blood money. So you're saying that's important, that a trade is as low stress as possible. How about trades that build psychological fortitude as opposed to causing psychological toxicity? For example, if you had a trade that doubles down all the time, you double down, you quadruple down, you double down, you double down. Now you're back to break even, and boy, are you happy. You're even up a little. And you've averaged in so much that even when the stock is 10 cents in your favor, you're actually up a couple grand. And you're like, you think you did something good, you sell out, you make money, and you just poisoned yourself. And you're borrowing that money to give it back in the future, which your account is inevitably going to blow up as a question of when, not if, considering you're going to continue doing that strategy. How important is for you? Can I get a 44 if it's important? Let me see a 99 if it isn't. That your trades, your strategy has trades that build your psychological fortitude as opposed to causing toxicity. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is the important thing to you, then your so-called technical analysis should be able to deliver it. You see, the problem is with traders is they settle. They settle. They settle. They come to these trades, they see them, it's like that person you see in the bar, that guy you see in the bar, and he's like, dude looks like he hasn't showered in 6 months. Dude looks like a train ran over him. He smells like piss and beer. And you know that if you drink enough whiskeys, you might be able to lower your inhibitions enough where you might actually go and try to date that stranger. But instead, why don't you have a higher standard? Why don't you set a higher bar for yourself? Why don't you say, I'm not going to do any of these strategies that don't follow every single step that you see here? If you said that all these things are important for you, I actually did a video that gave you everything here. You ready for this? You know how much it cost you? For free. For free. I'll prove it to you. I'm not a time traveler. You're going to have to You're gonna have to believe me on that. That I'm not a time travel. No, I'm not a time traveler. I gave you a video in the beginning of the week called Newsbeat Live Open House Strategies. I gave you Newsbeat Show 561, two simple tricks to dominate this market. And I want to show you something today. Something that's going to prove to you that statistical analysis is far superior than technical analysis. And I don't give a crap what kind of candlestick formations you believe in. Maybe you made a lot of money in them. Maybe you lost a lot of money. Maybe you're grinding wheels and going sideways. I really don't know your personal situation, but I want to show you what a 5-year-old can do better than what most traders can do. And if you lower your technicals to the lowest common denominator where you're just looking for statistical frequencies, not really caring why it works, not caring about the formations, you'll be able to do amazing things. For example, how many people on a day like today would consider it amazing if somebody in real time called the dead high in Apple? I'm going somewhere with this. How many people would consider that Incredible on a Friday where the market is plummeting. Beyond, say no if you don't find. No, Mark, I do that all the time. God bless you. Maybe you're doing something great. Okay. Well, in real time today, after the Apple hit 278.41, while it's still in the 278.30s, printing 278.41, I in the Newsbeat live room said that Apple topped out here. As soon as I said that, Apple dropped 8 points in 5 minutes and then continued to plummet further and never looked back. But I was actually buying Apple calls over here for a move to double my option calls. My calls tripled, quadrupled, I forgot, but my my best sale is they went up 225%. I was out after they doubled and more. Okay, so 200%, whatever. Okay, it went 225% higher. All right, that's when I caught it. Not only that, after it went up and so many people were long and were holding their calls better than me, I said when it hit 278.41 that Apple topped out here. Now, when I called that Apple top, the whole market topped out. Whether you're watching the triple Qs over here, whether you're watching Google, Amazon, Netflix, Cisco, AMD, Citigroup, JP Morgan, they all share the same thing. They all topped out simultaneously because when you could call the top of the Apple, you could call the top of the Qs, you could call the top of the spiders, you could call the top of the S&P 500. It really just does not matter. It just really does not matter. Yes, the S&P 500 topped out at the same exact time that I called the top of Apple, a market moving name. Now, you might be looking at this little cute pink line, and what I want to show you today is I'm going to show you every single stock I had written down on my list in the pre-market. Now, besides for the small cap stuff here, like this was coronavirus plays, I didn't play any of them. I wrote them down off to the side. Notice they have like no love. They're like sitting there in the corner. I couldn't drink enough whiskey to like go over to that stock symbol, but I put it there just in case I got really drunk. So right over here, here are my earnings names. So right here, this box, TTD, Beyond, VMW, Baidu, Big. Those were the 5 earnings names I decided to focus on today. In term NV over here stands for news and volume. I have nothing there. V stands for volume. I had Apple, Microsoft, Baba, Nvidia. N stands for news. I had Facebook, Dollar General, and Regeneron. Those were all the names, besides for the small cap names, which I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised that the strategy actually worked upon. I could actually go over those as well. I haven't yet. Yeah, only after hours. That doesn't count. But the point is, I want to show you every real name that we did today, using nothing but an exponential 100 moving average on the 5 minute. In real time today, ladies and gentlemen, we called the dead bottom of the trade desk after it broke underneath this pink line over here, right over here, in real time. I waited for Beyond to hit the top of this line here for a short. It hit it after hours. That doesn't count. Remember, if it hits it on the first bar or in the last 5 minutes of the day, 10 minutes of the day, or after hours, we ignore it. That's the rule. That's always been the rule. VMW, I'm going down the list. Never hit the pink line, you ignore it. Baidu, oh, look, hit the pink line right over here. So let me ask you, how many people think that you would have made money if you were shorting Baidu or buying puts in Baidu at the dead top of 120.30 right before it plummeted $1 in 5 minutes and then of course went even lower and even lower later on? How many people could have made money shorting at the dead top there? Tell me. Here's Big Lots. Never hit the pink line today. You move on. Now going into the sexy stuff, Apple. How many people could have made money shorting Apple by 278.41 today? That's what we called in the Newsbeat live room. Right there. Microsoft was on my list. How many people could have made money shorting Microsoft at the dead high here today? We also had Bob on our list. How many people could have made money shorting Bob at the dead high here after this candle broke out? We were watching NVIDIA today. How many people could have made money shorting NVIDIA right over here, right before it plunged $4 and change? Yes, these 5 minute bars are vicious today. I get it. How many people can make money on that? Now let's go to the other name, Facebook. All right, Facebook, hit it right here. How many people could have made money shorting Facebook at the dead top over there? How many of you guys? Dollar General, never hit the pink line. Regeneron, hit it right over here. Didn't produce a lot of money, but if you shorted above it, you would have been up a little and it would have just grinded to the end of the day. Point being, I had one, two, outside of the small cap stuff, which I don't trade, I just watch it for people in the room who do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 names that we had on our radar today that I could have put in a stupid, idiotic, simplistic, everybody has access to it, 5 minute, exponential, 100 moving average. And you tell me, yeah, I would have missed a lot of up and down moves and maybe my P&L, and I would have missed this move and that move. And I did other things today. You know, don't get me wrong, right? We caught Apple on the up move as well. But I want to ask you something. How many people agree that a little stupid, simple trick, which go watch Sunday's video where it called Newsbeat Live Open House Strategies. Go watch Newsbeat show number 561, which we did the other day. Watch these shows. Watch these shows. We're literally giving you this strategy at the beginning of the week. I picked 12 names I've written down. They practically work on every single one of those names. You want to know what my names accomplish there? You want to know what my names accomplish? Making money consistently, 70% more of the time. Check. Making money on the trades. Damn right. Check. Low stress as possible. Being up money as close to immediately as possible after entering the trade. Check. Trades that build psychological fortitude as opposed to causing psychological toxicity. Check. Strategies are not just meant to make money. Strategies are meant to have this to ensure that you can continue making money in the future. Because if you sit there and you poison yourself, you might smoke a cigarette one day, or you might do something and, get punched in the face as a boxer. You might be one of those, boxers, and you get punched in the face and punched in the face, and you're fine, and you come back and you put a little ice pack on and you're good. But then after years of getting punched in the face, all of a sudden you don't remember things so easily, and you don't know who people are, and all of a sudden you have conditions and diseases. What do you think stress does to your body? Are you telling me that you don't think stress causes issues in the human brain? How many scientific studies are out there proving that? That's not even considered an opinion anymore. So you're sitting there poisoning yourself with these garbage strategies by smiling idiots trying to pitch you nonsense when I'm trying to say, here, take something for free. Let me help you. And you know what? The strategy I showed you, not going to be effective forever. It won't. It's not going to work forever. But I'm going to figure out little stupid things that work in the future. So ultimately, now I need to ask you the $1,000,000 question. With all the different forms of technical analysis out there, I showed you what I consider statistical analysis, things that work in the current environment much higher than other strategies. Would you rather be somebody who is taking that little simple trade, not doing many trades, making money almost every time, 70% or more of the time, let's call it? I'm not going to use 100% of the time, even if you could have done it today. I know that's not going to work every day. I know things are going to fail. What would you rather do? What would you rather do? What do you think is more powerful? Statistical analysis or technical analysis? So give me an SA if you really believe statistical analysis is the right way to go in every market environment, or TA if you think technical analysis is the right way to go every time. SA, statistical analysis, what I showed you, or TA, general technical analysis, bull flags, head and shoulders, cup and handles, candlestick analysis. What honestly do you think is better if you had to choose one? If. All right, you could say both. What if you had to choose one? I'm coming to a very solid point here. Well, if you're a trader who's struggling, you have to be crazy to say TA if you are a trader who's struggling. Yet here I am trying to bring you some of the most consistent ideas in the current market environment, whether it's through the Newsbeat earnings, whether it's through the Newsbeat strategies. With what we're doing, we're trying to bring you the most consistent ideas on Wall Street. And that's going to change. The sad thing about technical analysis, it doesn't really change. A candlestick formation that somebody is declaring as bullish is never going to suddenly change bearish. Yes, there's situations where bull flags are working well in certain environments and breakouts are working well in certain environments. And those are the only environments that whatever somebody teaches you out there ever works. When you have stocks that just trend all day to the upside and they'll take a look and they'll say, you see how it's trending on that support line there, and you see how it's breaking out of the candlestick. But you could put a market like this that's going like this, and there are a lot of people who are not day traders anymore as a result of this week. And that's horrible because making money in the market is only as difficult as you want it to be. In fact, the market is often so predictable for what's going to work the week ahead. I mean, watch Newsbeat live open house strategies and apply them to the names you're watching. I don't mean to sound like a know-it-all. I'm the exact opposite of that. I actually have no ego. I know this strategy is going to suck in the future at some point. I just don't know when. And when it does suck, I'm going to find something else that works, and I'm going to milk the cow as long as she's there offering me simple and easy money. And that's the true key to consistency. That is the true key to keeping your Sharpe ratio high, is admitting the fact that whatever technicals you use today are going to change sometime in the future, whether it's near term, long term, medium term. It's going to change as the market evolves. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, right now, if a lot of the technical stuff you're doing is not working in the current environment, I promise you the market has really changed. And if you think the same strategies that were working 3 weeks ago are going to all of a sudden work this week, you were probably in for a really ugly and rude awakening. And what I'm telling you is no matter where you are, if you're a trader right now that has an account, and again, we've ran an open house this week, so um, we've had our, the best open house here ever, and that's quite a feat for the Newsbeat live room because we're able to show traders in an environment like this what it's like to actually make money. Like with the Apple trade, I just almost want to show you the reaction. I want to show you the reaction of how people were even talking in the room. What a healthy chat looks like when you can call the dead top of Apple. I mean, when you're sitting there and we were riding Apple to the upside the entire time, like we're not just sitting here only counter trending. We look for relative strength as well. We look for relative strength with follow through. But what I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to go take a screenshot of just, oh my God, there's so much chat. It's like the largest chat ever, I think. It takes me about 30 seconds to get through 10 minutes of chat while scrolling fast right now. I'm holding I can't. This is going to take too long. I can't even get to the point of chat because there's so much chat today on the open house. But let me tell you, one person made $25,000. People are making thousands, $6,000, $5,000. And a lot of you might be like, oh, I have FOMO. I didn't catch that. But the truth is, when you have a methodology that works, That's where FOMO starts. FOMO starts when you keep throwing darts at the wall, and one of the plays you were looking at that you could have thrown the dart at suddenly works really well, and you weren't part of it, and then you get FOMO and you have the fear of missing out. You want to know the beautiful thing about my strategy is? Don't underestimate this fact right here. You actually get no FOMO because you make money so consistently on these ideas that you look at a trade and you laugh at it when you miss it. You're like, okay, whatever, I'll just catch the next one. No FOMO here. And by doing this, I'm going to eliminate your FOMO. I'm going to eliminate your fear of losing money, your FOLM, your fear of missing out, your FOMO. I'm going to cure your psychological toxicity. Traders have come to me and they literally tell me, Mark, I used to curse a lot. I used to be angry all the time. I'm a much happier person. My wife notices the difference in me. If I've told you how many traders over the years have told me that I have saved their marriage, coming from a ex-divorcee right here, if you've even heard how many people came to me like, Mark, you saved my marriage. From the Newsbeat live room has saved my marriage. I don't even have the fingers to count them. In fact, I want to show you just one email here today. Just one. We get too many of these. This wasn't actually written an hour ago. I screenshotted it an hour ago. It was written today at 7:48 a.m. And it says, and I'm going to read it for you. Mark, I joined your room after the open house this past June. The day I joined is stuck in my head because of one, it was my twin girl's 11th birthday, and the same day my father was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. I had to take care of my dad and try and trade. Psychological toxicity, going through issues like that, you shouldn't be trading. In hindsight, I should have walked away from trading. My dad only lived 5 weeks after he was diagnosed. The grief and sorrow combined with poor decisions trading, and I managed to blow up my account in quotes again. I am normally a jovial person, but I became severely depressed with death of my father and melting my account. It was a daily struggle just getting out of bed. How many people can relate with that? The Newsbeat room was a driving force for me to get out of bed. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but this room helped me pull through my darkest hour, and for that I am grateful. I told my wife I was not going to trade again until I was 100% mentally ready and capable. Listening to listening to the Newsbeat, I had heard you say just trade my picks. By the way, I only say that on a demo account and see how you do for legal purposes. On February the 1st, I deposited $2,000 in my account and decided I was going to deflate my ego and actually listen to you. Actually doing the stupid, small, statistically consistent strategies in which I show. I only took positions that you took, and I could not day trade. My account this morning is over $10,000. Started with two on February 1st, this month. My account is over $10,000, even more impressive, trading one contract with your picks. I still can't believe one contract did that. I know this is an open house week. Man, I am crying like a baby even as he's writing this to me. And I wanted to tell you from the bottom of my heart, you have helped me more than you will ever know. This email is the only way I know how to pay it forward. So please share, we are, if you like, and I hope I help welcome other people to the Newsbeat family. These dang onions, lol, because he's crying as he's writing this. One option trades. And in the room today, he pointed out that it was him who did it. He pointed out his name. And he told me that he was never over $500. So literally, if he had a $500 account, he started with 2,000, he could have built himself up to $10,000. And Like things like that are just so beyond inspirational to me that it literally gets me up out of bed. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but the success of other people around me is my driving force in life. I'm going to tally up all the charities that you guys sent me. I'm going to actually do a video sometime this week. But if you're watching now, and for whatever reason you're not part of the Newsbeat live room, for the next 23 minutes, you can actually lock in your spot here at an extremely discounted rate. If you just email info@T3 Live Room, tell them you want in the Newsbeat room at the open house price, whether you're in the open house room or not. You literally have 23 minutes to do it. So if you're watching this video tomorrow, I apologize. But if you're watching this video now and whatever I did inspired you, and you could go back later and check these videos because you only have 23 minutes to write this email. And a lot of traders will be joining this room next week at the full $2,000, which, brings more money in my pocket, makes me give less to charity as a result, and it costs you like literally almost twice as much money. Save your money. Save your money. Email info@t3live.com. Tell them you want in the Newsbeat live room at the open house um, price, not open house room, the open house price. And we will show you more of these cute trades. We will show you more ways to make money. We will show you why strategies demand more from traders. You want to know why 97% of traders fail? Because they don't make this entire checklist. You want to know why people are like, with all these gurus and all this great education, is everybody just an undisciplined idiot and moron who day trades? No, quite the opposite. You're all persistent, you're all hard workers, you're all fighting to make as much money as humanly possible. You are probably a very good human being. And if you failed, maybe you did break your disciplines, maybe you were doing things, but I will do everything I can to help you follow this. And I will only give you strategies that can make this checklist. And if you're doing strategies that do not follow this checklist, you are a trading ticking time bomb. And you are just waiting to blow up. So, again, you have some minutes to email info@t3live.com. Tomorrow, we're going to try to help people get acclimated with the software, with the strategies. We're going to help try to do help people discover their own individualized strategies, because I would never tell an individual an individualized strategy legally, but we're going to help people discover them by themselves, and we're going to help get them to the level of where they can be consistently profitable. And I'll tell you right now, I have grown so much from where I have come from. I am a completely different trader now than I was a month ago. And it just, everything in life changes at times. Life is too short to not have faith and belief in things that could help you. I really try as hard as I can to show you in front of your face. I literally show you videos showing you the strategies I'm going to use. And then I show you a day in which you could have applied the strategies to any of the names I was watching and have an almost, in many people's opinions, what's your opinion, an easy way of making money. And that's really all I could do. I could show you a strategy that worked last week, tell you it's going to work this week most likely. It ends up working this week. It ends up working well over 70% of the time for the names I'm watching. And I could show you and I could demonstrate it for you, and I could give you a free open house, and I could give you a free strategy, and I could show you in front of your face, and I could show you calling these things in real time, and I could show you all these things. But at the end of the day, it's you who has to take the next step forward. I have given you everything, every tool that I humanly know how to give you to turn you into a successful trader. And guess what? My fight is not done. It will continue on tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat show. Happy trading, make money. I will see all the new open house attendees and Newsbeat Live members tomorrow, Saturday, 12 o'clock p.m. And if the time changes, again, stay tuned on Twitter. I will see you guys Sunday again, probably early on, and Sunday again, 7:30 on the Newsbeat show. Sunday again after the Newsbeat show for the Newsbeat Live levels, and Monday morning again on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful weekend.